So we are getting ready for the final big finale of the weekend, and it is, of course, Trans Am TA2, and that will be a full-on championship of TA2 races. And I think Ben's down there on the grid. So let's head down to Ben Sissel. But before we go down to Ben, let's head to the qualifying piece from yesterday to work out who got where and how it all panned out. So look at the highlights. Tyler Casera was going well, but didn't really get the chance before the black flag. Skeen came in for the black flag, but he was currently then in third place. And likewise, Rafa Matos had put in the second fastest time by then. I think I might order a Hunt's Pizza tonight if that's what the go is, because this man is on it. Connor Zilich is absolutely sensational at VIR. Takes the pole, just 15 years of age. The local man from Mooresville, North Carolina. Pole position in his first try at Trans Am.
Mike Skeen, watch out. He might be coming for you. Connor Zilich, how do you describe to your friends that you're about to go up north to Virginia and race in TA2?
I left public school about 3 years ago, and I haven't really kept up with my friends, so most of my friends are racing friends, and they know all about it, and they're really happy for me, and I couldn't be happier for myself. I mean, talking about Mike Skeen, he was my driver coach a few years ago. Actually, we're good friends with him, and it's crazy that now I'm ahead of him, and I don't know how I did it, but I'm just amazed.
Well, speaking of Connor Zilich, starting at pole right here in the Hunt Brothers Ford Mustang, and kind of coming in as a spoiler, first time, 15 years old here in TA2. But then leading is Rafa Matos in points, getting close to the end of the season. Mike Skeen is here in a Dodge Challenger for the first time this season. But man, it's getting too loud here, Johnny, so I'm going to send it back to you up in the booth.
Short and sweet, Ben, but don't worry. Edwards Evasion's just joined me, and yeah, I think there's no question that the story of this race is not just the championship, it's the new boy on the block, and what a new boy. And ironic that he has literally blitzed the track lap record in his first effort against the likes of Matos and his mentor Mike Skeen. That really is hugely impressive indeed. So we'll find out just what this man can do in a race situation. But the way I've listened to him being interviewed, I wouldn't have a doubt that he can just continue from pole and win this thing, because I don't think he shows any signs of any pressure. And we'll get Edward in here now, because I mean, you know, you've been around racing enough, and you see these guys come through, and you always spot somebody, and especially as a racing driver, you know the difference between somebody doing something as a sort of one-off, they had a powerful car, or whatever it might be. This is the real deal. Well, it's not a car you can just jump in from cards, normally. So he's got something. The roar. Well, he's from the right part of the country if he wants to go NASCAR racing. I looked at his bio this morning, and he said that Formula One is his favorite sport. He didn't say he necessarily want to be a Formula One driver, but he's in a good spot coming from Mooresville, North Carolina, and being in Trans Am right now, and taking it to the regulars. This is going to be an interesting race. You know, when you look back to 2020 and Mike Skeen taking the championship over Rafa Matos, and then with COVID and all the rest of it, the last big champion we had, I suppose, Rafa Matos in 2018 for three-dimensional services. He raced for Silver Hair last year. And then this kid comes in, Connor Mosack. He's got his first win last time out at Watkins Glen. And he will be a factor, I'm sure. And, you know, there's so many good stories as we come to the penultimate round of this TA2 Championship. Big B joined us, Ben.
So we're missing Edward. So reintroduce Edward. He was in the wrong microphone. That's my fault. I'm sorry about that.
Ah, my fault.
But,
sorry, yes. Edward Savagian is in the booth, and we were just talking about this young phenom almost at 15, and even Edward was like, yeah, I can't explain it because this is not the easiest of cars to drive when you've never driven a race car before, particularly. Edward, welcome. The reason why Edward Savagian's not racing, he had a crash 2 weeks ago, and they just couldn't get it repaired in time, right?
Right. We'll try to be back on the grid in next month in Austin, but this weekend I'm a spectator, but happy to be here.
And Austin was where Edward got his first podium in TA2.
I remember it well.
He's from Dallas, Texas, so I would consider that to be kind of a home track. Edward, I've known Edward now for a little over 10 years. He's always been one of the fastest in our Group 6 muscle cars in the SVRA series, and he moved to TA2 about 3 years ago and was quick right away. Like, he really kind of raised a lot of eyebrows when he came into the series. And I wish you were out there, but we're going to really need your insight here as you watch along. So in something like this, looking at Adam Andretti's in-car, what are you doing here on these warm-up laps, Edward?
Just trying to get heat into the brakes and tires and feel the car out a bit. You know, it's a little bit different from qualifying when you have a full fuel load, and you can't really get a good feel for it just on the pace lap warming up, but you get some kind of idea of what's underneath you.
Jonathan, I haven't heard yet if we're doing 1 or 2 pace laps. It looks like 1.
It looks like 1 by the looks of things, the pace car, and they are filing up now for a race start. So let's see what this kid, 15-year-old North Carolinian, Hunt's Pizza on the side of the car, taking on the mighty Rafa Matos, who is racing for a championship against the champion who is behind the pole man, and that, of course, is Mike Skeen. They're not worried what the kid does, they're worried about each other, and that's Matos and Skeen I'm talking about. But what can Zilich do from the start? He gets a good start, they are neck and neck. Matos will not give him an inch. The Brazilian doesn't hold back, it doesn't care who he's racing against. But right now Zilich has got the line and got the lead. A little nudge there from Rafa Matos. Welcome to the big leagues, big buddy. And he just got shown what it's like to race with the big boys.
I think advantage Zilich there, because that slowed down Matos and the whole field behind him as we ride on board with Adam Andretti. Edward, what are you seeing?
Well, I was curious to see how the kid would do with Matos, who's so aggressive. It's one thing to do hot laps, but another to have your mirrors filled up. So we'll see how he hangs on here.
I really like that green flag, probably one of the most memorable green flags in TA2, because the group was backed up, bunched up better than I've ever seen, and we love these late green flags here from our starter Steve at VIR.
Good start from Connor Mosack and Thomas Merrill as we go on board with Rafa Matos in second place through 10.
And 10 is a really treacherous turn. If you go wide there, you don't want to overcorrect because you'll end up in the inside wall. As they come around here at 11, it should kind of be one corner, one turn there, all the way back around through Oak Tree Bend and then down this long straight. It's all about the setup here. What's your strategy going down this long straight, Edward?
Well, it depends on where you are, but it's actually not the easiest place to pass because the braking zone kind of funnels into one lane. So hold your position, look at your mirrors, and at least for the first few laps, stay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to witness history. A 15-year-old for the first time in TA2 may lead a lap, and that will make history. He's made history quite a bit here this weekend, but that will be the youngest ever TA2 driver to lead a lap.
And just to reiterate it, all he's ever raced is cars. He's never raced a car in his life.
Well, he doesn't even have a driver's license.
Nope.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most impressive things that I've seen. So it's Connor Zilich, Rafa Matos, Mike Skeen, Tyler Casera, who won here last year, Thomas Merrill in that Dayglow number 26 Mike Cope car, then Connor Mosack, Michael Self, Adam Andretti, Barry Bowes in a new car, and Adrian Lostowski. That's our top 10.
Great start to this, good clean start to this, good racing, lots of pockets of racing. The leaders, a five-way battle at the front, then side-by-side action for 6. just gets squeezing through a left hook as they head down the snake again. This drone shot really illustrates just how many battles there are. Michael Self, who had problems yesterday, in a good battle here. He's just behind Mosak.
So what's going on with the Chevys here? Am I asking a Chevy man? But Connor Mosak and Michael Self are the first Chevys we see in the shot. What is that, Edward?
I don't know what the lead car has under the hood. I believe it's a Chevy engine, but it's got a Ford body, so.
And that's the car that Joey Hand was running with us, the Hunt Brothers Pizza car at the Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. But Rafa Matos seems to be closing the gap up top. And what a great bit of opening laps here at Virginia International Raceway.
Keeping an eye on Adam Andretti. He's down in 8th position at the moment, not having a good qualifying, Adam, but we spoke to him earlier in the TA race and he's
got a pass.
Yeah, we do. And that's for 4th place. That'll be Tyler Casera. Is that Thomas Merrill on Tyler Casera?
Well, I think Tyler Casera just took it back.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Sorry, excuse me. Tyler Casera, of course, won here last year.
Really good driver. Considers this to kind of be one of his home tracks from Pennsylvania. Spec Miata racer and champion, moved to TA2 and has done really well. And look for him to move up front. Mike Skeen, the lone Mopar today, doing really well for the Dodge fans. So leave a comment if you're watching on Facebook, although Tyler Casera looks inside. Who are you for? The big three, Mopar, Chevy, Ford. Who are you rooting for in this race? Leave a comment on our Facebook or YouTube channels with Trans Am. Tell us where you're watching from as they come around the NASCAR bend. And Merrill right on the back of Casera there.
Still haven't found out why, Mike Skeen. You asked him yesterday. It wasn't really clear why they'd swap cars.
No, and that's probably a strategy. To be honest, knowing Stevens Miller Racing and Mike Skeen, they don't really try to give away a lot. There's probably a reason that they will tell us come 2022.
What I mean is he's been racing a Mustang and he's gone back. He's raced both, but he's gone back to the Camaro. And it's interesting. It really is.
Now, I did ask Thomas, and maybe I'm not supposed to say this, but he is in that car, what we know from the Ryan Newman car from Road America, because he wanted to try out a different engine. And he says, yes, this engine, I'm not sure what engine it is, has more power, he says, than his 81 car. So we're going to see if he's able to work his way up to the front with more power in the engine.
I believe he's the leading actual Ford engine in the field at the moment.
So tell us what you're seeing here in this in-car from Matos drafting right behind our leader.
That draft, didn't he?
Yeah, he's probably going to take a look, but I don't think it's there.
So are you doing that just to kind of show Connor or try to get Connor to look in his mirrors and make a mistake at this point, or are you just trying to see what your car has?
Both. You're always trying to put pressure, and putting pressure opens doors for you. And then you're also trying to see where on the track that you're actually faster and can make that move stick.
Skeen's coming now as Rafa's putting the pressure on the leader. We're watching it, but so too is Skeen. And watch for Skeen to pop out of the mirror maybe of Matos as they go down this straight. Yeah, he thought about it, can't quite pull it off.
No, but man, TA2 just does not disappoint. What a fantastic start to this race at Virginia International Raceway. VIR SpeedTour. There's Mike Skeen in that Liquid Moly Turn 14 distribution. Dodge Challenger in 3rd place, but man, Casera is right on his tail.
Yeah, no question about it. And I guess one reason we've seen what Boris said can do in a Dodge Challenger, and maybe that was one of the thinking points that VIR was suited, that you mentioned, or Adam mentioned earlier, that the Challenger has definitely got huge torque.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, Edward or yourself can talk to that, because that might be a factor. But Tyler Casera right behind. You know, Tyler did make a comment to me about, I said, what do you think of the Zilich kid? And he said, you know, he has done some Miatas, and that's where I came from. And he said, and remember, I came from e-racing from Miatas, and I got a podium first time out when I raced here at VIR. And I said, good point.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying that it doesn't do any harm to have done some Miata stuff as we take a look at the Hunt Brothers Pizza sponsors.
No, and
team?
To your point, the Nitro Motorsports team, Hunt Brothers Pizza, if you can drive a high horsepower car, like a momentum car, like a Miata, you're going to be really, really finessed out on the track, as we're seeing right here.
Well, he's under massive pressure now as they go down roller coaster, and it's a roller coaster ride for the kid, because Matos does not hold back. He is a veteran, I can say that, because it's pretty much the truth. He's not an old fella, but he's been around a long time. An Indy Lights rookie in his time too, but a Trans Am champion et al. Not an easy thing to do. When the championship is on the line, and by the way, let's not lose sight of the fact Rafa Matos coming in with a 40-point advantage and 6 different winners from 10 rounds, but it's definitely the Skeen-Matos story, and they got to be careful because Tyler Casera can get amongst it. So too can Connor Mosack, and Rafa Matos wants past Connor Zilich as quick as he can to put some space between himself and the man behind, Mike Skeen.
Who are you seeing right now? To me, my opinion is Rafa Matos might have the faster car, but Connor's keeping him back.
He's being held up. I just saw Connor lock the wheel going into turn 1, so he's under pressure. And you can tell that by the top 8 guys are within a second of him, so generally they get a little bit more spread out by this point.
Connor Zilich able to make that car wide, and that is per the rules, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be able to make a good, clean pass in TA2. There's a good shot there of Tyler Casera and his new livery. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, Tyler was struggling, and in qualifying, the black flag just came out before he was about to set his quick lap, and he was so disappointed, and it kind of took the momentum away, and he was very upset, yes. Well, not very upset, but he really knew he could do more. Here comes Matos again. He's got the drive.
155 there.
Side by side. They
Side
tried
draft,
to close the door.
160,
He's got it.
162, 163. Wow, that is impressive.
All right, so Matos takes the lead. Now let's see if this kid can race.
Yeah, didn't open any doors for Skeen. That just full-on Matos got beside him. Looked like maybe a little bit of a NASCAR side draft there because his speed increased from 150 to 160 as soon as he got beside him. And now it looks like it's Rafa Matos' race to lose because he's been kind of the class of the field this race.
So a new leader, and it's our championship leader, Rafa Matos in the 3-dimensional services Mustang. Still the battle between Casera and Skeen. Skeen swapping cars for the Challenger this weekend.
Casera also looks fast. You know, it looks like he's got Mike Skeen in places, and then maybe Mike Skeen has a little bit more torque in places.
To my understanding, the Challenger has a little bit more power, but a heavy engine, so it's a give and take. So he should be all right down the straightaway, and therefore hard to pass. But we'll see how he does when he gets up behind Connor.
So we just saw the 3-dimensional services group team, and they don't look worried. Just judging by their body language, they've got Adam Andretti back there behind Michael Self in that green Camaro, but now Rafa Matos, followed by Connor Zilich, followed by Mike Skeen, Tyler Casera, Thomas Merrill, Connor Mosack, Michael Self, Adam Andretti, Adrian Lostowski, Barry Bose, Keith Prochek, and Scott Borchetta. That is your top 12 here.
Evan Slater had an incident yesterday which caused the black flag, and he's down currently in 13th place, just ahead of Doug Peterson. And Rhett Barco going for the rookie challenger. He's down in 17th position, not where he needs to be.
Last lap, Rafa Matos a 151.5, Connor Zilich a 152.2, Mike Skeen a 151.9. So Rafa's got a gap now, about 4 or 5 car lengths. And Mike Skeen overtakes Connor Zilich. And that is the student becoming the master, and then the master becoming the student again, because Mike Skeen was Connor Zilich's teacher at Carolina Motorsports Park.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I thought that was an interesting comment last night when he told you that fact. And he said, we're good friends. Not right now.
No, they're good friends, and Mike Skeen has a ton of respect for Connor Zilich. He was talking to him today at one of the podiums with International GT and said he's the real deal. And when Mike Skeen says that, Mike Skeen's a man of few words. That's quite a bit of accolades.
Yeah, no question about it. Now, let's see what Zilich can do against the maestro that is our current champion, Mike Skeen. Now, will he be our 2021 champion, or will Rafa go off into the distance? Really close race for the start of this one. Still a long way to go, only 7 laps of the 31.
And Connor Mosack seems to be closing that gap there on Thomas Merrill. Thomas Merrill's in that Dayglow orange Mike Cope Racing cars. Number 26 there, just behind Tyler Casera there in the number 5. And Connor Mosack is the first Camaro-bodied car that we see coming into turn 10, that hard left-hander. A lot of people get this turn wrong. There's Michael Self, followed by Adam Andretti.
Yeah, did you ever find out why he's got the white sort of body change at the front.
Usually that just means that something happened in qualifying, or they changed out the front clip and didn't have time to put the stickers on.
Sure. Well, we're on board with Andretti.
So how can he catch this group? Because he's not in any kind of draft, so he just needs to hit all of his marks. What's he doing here, Edward?
I was just looking at his front splitter dragging on the ground going into Oak Tree turn. You know, you put a new front end on and then you got to realign everything, and I don't know if they've got that thing just right or if it's dragging so much that he's losing front downforce. I don't know.
And that's why we bring Edward Savajian into the booth. Not only is he a driver, but he's also an engineer. He owns and runs Duntoff Motors, a really great race shop out of Dallas, Texas. They build the nicest and fastest vintage Corvettes, also street cars, but he's been engineering on his own TA2 car now for the last 3 years. So whenever you see something like that, Edward, perk up, man, because I'm not seeing it. I'm not smart enough to know these engineering facts like this. But look at that close. And that's Connor Mosack taking over Connor Zilich. And Mike Skeen did alert me to this. Mike Skeen did 3 laps on his Pirelli P0 tires in qualifying. Oh, Tyler Casera off there at NASCAR.
Mistake.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Tyler. But getting back, Connor Zilich did 7 or 8 laps on his Pirellis, and Mike Skeen and Rafa only did about 3. So the tires are going to wear out on Connor faster than the other drivers.
Good point, yeah. And he certainly found himself in a race now for sure. Let's hope we get Tyler going, because that could bring out, as we look at Tabitha, of course, partner to Andretti, she's looking worried. But watching the timings and seeing if there's a safety car. Andretti on board with him as they watch the monitor. We watch the onboard. What a great onboard too. You can see how he wheels the wheel and over 10. And you can see the gap he's got in front of him as he goes into 11 and Oak Tree.
I couldn't tell from that shot if Tyler was touched or just got it a little bit off there at NASCAR, but that's unlike Tyler Casera. We might have a replay.
Ooh.
Here we go. Nope. All right. Well, I hope we're back to live there. And that should be Rafa Matos coming down the hill, followed by Mike Skeen. Championship battle.
Yeah, now we've got a pure battle for the championship. But Skeen has to win.
Yeah, but don't count out Connor Mosack, Thomas Merrill, Connor Zilich, anybody. Look there, Connor Mosack looking inside Thomas Merrill. This is a little bit of a team rivalry here. These two teams don't get along real well. Well, I'd say the driver in the 2.6 and the team of 2.8 don't get along very well. So let's see what happens here. They've got a lot of history here at this specific track, Virginia International Raceway. Great crowds this weekend here, as you're seeing in Connor Mosack's. What are you seeing here on this in-car, Edward? Thomas looks a little loose in the rear end to me.
I was just watching how much track Mosack was using coming out of, what is it, 3, and just drove it right to the end of the road. He's in a hurry.
Well, just a reminder, if Rafa has to finish second or higher to clinch the championship, even if Mike Skeen wins. So we're looking at the potential champion as we go back on board with Adrian Lostowski, his first season in TA2.
But we're only a third of the way through this race, and a lot can happen, as we've seen at Virginia International Raceway. Adrian Lostowski, man, he has really shown something this year, being second, or the runner-up in SGT last year, switching over to TA2, and he's been fast all year long.
Edward, let's take a look at what happened to Casera. What you take us through NASCAR and what could have gone wrong here.
I didn't catch the beginning of that.
It looked like he locked up his front brakes just slightly and came around. I don't think he made contact with the wall, or if he is, minimal.
Jim Gallagher's just done a pirouette.
And that was turn 10. Jim Gallagher, that we were talking about, sometimes going out to the outside too far and overcorrecting. That might be what happened, but good recovery from that number 16 of Jim Gallagher.
So it's all going off now. As we get into the business end of this race.
Uh-oh, Connor Mosack looking outside of Thomas Merrill.
Yeah, Michael Self. And round the horseshoe, very close indeed between these two. Into NASCAR they come. Drone really gives you an illustration of the pace that both of them are on and who's catching where. Slight mistake there by Connor. And as they head up through the snake, there's Rafa, there's Skeen. Skeen's got to get on level terms. Keep this championship going. Gap is 2.5
really
seconds.
light right there. Look at Thomas Merrill's rear end just coming back and forth. But I don't know about his setup. Does that look loose to you, or is that something he prefers?
No, it looked all right. I was just watching for Connor. When you're that close to somebody going through high-speed turns like that, you generally get a bit of understeer. But
is that because of the wash?
Sure, you lose the arrow on the front end of the car. But Connor has had consistent, fast race pace in the last few races.
Yeah.
Here he comes. He's gaining on him.
Well, we can see it from above here. We're watching this battle here.
He's
Look
got
at him how he's closing in. And yes, has
Slight
he?
left there, but Thomas isn't going to give him anything.
No.
Now it's a hard
Oh,
right.
he locks
He's gotta
up.
locks it up. Down the roller coaster.
Mosak locks it up, but he had to just to get through the corner. And that's good driving from Merrill, good experience from Merrill, and obviously he knows this track better than anyone. He's had some good runs here, and Thomas Merrill, not the forgotten man, but of course Thomas very much in the hunt in the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's just had some bad luck here of late, especially they're just getting tangled up in that wreck with Misha Goikhberg at Watkins Glen. But he will always be in the championship hunt in TA2, one of our finest drivers. But man, Connor Mosak has really shown me a lot with that race for RP, Chevy Camaro, Nick Taylor custom fit underwear. What a talented driver he has been with that Team SLR. And there's Mike Cope, Thomas Merrill's team right there. They don't look, they look relaxed, you know, just reading their body language. Everything seems to be going pretty well. I think they have 4 cars on the field this weekend. So it looks like they're having a pretty good day. This is the battle right now. Yeah. Battle for podium. And we're still looking. We keep saying this in every TA2 race. The top 4 are in the top 4.
I know. It's nuts.
But it is flip-flop. So my math, it goes Rafa Matos, Mike Skeen, Connor Mosak just overtook Thomas Merrill, and then Thomas Merrill just dropped down to 4th.
But how much does the car change as the race goes on? I mean, we call it a 1 hour, 100-mile sprint, but 100 miles is a long way, and the car can do a lot of different things under you in that time. So how does it change as the race goes on?
Generally, as the fuel burns off, that changes, and that changes how the car feels, but that's also dependent upon your weight distribution. So, you know, I'd be curious to see what Zilich did between qualifying and the race, and, you know, maybe they're set up for a low fuel setup, and he'll, you know, the lap times will come back down towards the end of the race, but right now he's certainly struggling.
So back with Andretti. And he too has got past Zilich. Up to 6th place now, Adam.
I think I saw a little bit of what you meant with the splitter. Hopefully we can get a good shot of him coming into turn 1. Tell us what you're seeing, Edward.
There's Lostowski coming into the corner.
Oh, somebody just got a little bit wide there. Was that Connor?
Yeah, I think so. No, it was Zilich.
Yeah, they're both Connors. Sorry, we should say
Yeah,
Zilich.
good point. Yeah, we're getting a good watch now of the kid, Connor Zilich from North Carolina, ahead of Adrian Lostowski.
He looks real loose.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And like you say, he did a lot of laps yesterday and used those tyres maybe. And certainly Skeen and Matos didn't do near as many laps. They stayed in the pits in the closing session, stages of qualifying.
I'm seeing a debris flag at turn 10.
Okay.
And we saw Jim Gallagher there at that last shot. They're showing a debris flag at corner 10. There's a replay.
This is turn 10. Oh, well, that's why. Yeah, a bunch of dust thrown up there. And a little of a mistake, Mark Austin from Buda, Texas, right by me in Austin.
Ooh, he's going to have to come in. That's a lot of grass on that front grille.
Well, I'm glad they've got the flags out because Rafa will need to know that because it can get really slippy coming over the top there of 10 when there's dust down mud added to already a tricky corner at the best of days.
Those are good corner workers there at turn 10. Jeff Johnson and his wife Kim Johnson. So they're quick on the debris flag. Nice job. Here's Adam Andretti. Let's see if we can get a shot of his splitter. And then Adrian Lostowski coming in.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Andretti and the three-dimensional team over the weekend. They just had brake bias issues at the beginning as we go down to the Hawk team. And that's Adrian Lostowski's team, of course. Hawk Performance, his backer. Go back on board with him now.
Just feathering the throttle there. That's a tough section. Now they try to make a straight line out of the snake. And now they go under the bridge, but right up here they get really light. Right here.
Just a
the car
brief
kind of
lift
drops
there.
out.
Yeah,
you get a little airborne, don't you?
A little bit. When you see him feathering the throttle like that, getting into the S's, he's just trying to reset the front end because he's picking up an understeer as he rolls onto the power.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
So Lostowski, nice to be on board there through that little section and see how he rolls through there.
He's closing the gap.
Ooh, problem.
That's Rhett Barco. Oh no. That's the 0-1 going for Rookie of the Year this year. Looks like, was that a tire failure or did his
that's suspension
arm just fail there?
Well,
rod end
where's he
or
trying to make
steering
it
rack.
to, do you think, at this point? Because he knows it ain't going anywhere.
Hopefully he pulls into the south paddock.
Yeah, good point.
I would drive that back to the pits. You know, what do you have to lose?
Yeah, it's true. Except he stopped in the middle of the racetrack.
That's not good.
Not by choice, I'm sure, but that is not good, and that surely will bring out a safety car.
But speaking of Rhett Barco, I got to talk about, well, here's a replay.
Let's see what happens. Ah, there you go. Yeah, he smashed at the beginning of the snake right over the dirt.
Do you think that was suspension failure before he went off, or do you think the off caused the suspension failure?
Off probably caused it, but I didn't see anything that would, you know.
There you go. Take a puff and get the yellows out. I like the work.
That's his break, isn't it? Called the double yellows, yeah. So speaking of Rhett Barco, he had problems, and he was fighting with Scott Borchetta for 10th and 11th place in the championship. He needed a car to finish, and he was able to borrow Scott Borchetta's B car that he uses in the SVR8 Group 10. And that just kind of shows the camaraderie here in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, the paddock, that such close competitors are helping each other out. I think that's a really cool story, and it's so great to have Rhett Barco here with BarcoCars.com running for Rookie of the Year, showing us a lot of talent and just kind of having some bad luck.
Yeah. So this is going to change the dimension of the race a little bit. Edward, when you've been in a race and in the heart of it, let's say you're in the top 5 and you've got a chance to kind of mentally regroup. What goes through your head when you get into a situation like this? Do you recalibrate? Do you talk to your engineer about tactics, or do you just wait for literally the restart? You know what you're doing, you know what's coming up, but what's the thought process?
Depending on what your car is doing, these tires generally they don't really go away as much as they do overheat. So you want to get the heat out of the tires to a point and keep your brakes in their operating range. And
I'm seeing a lot of cars duck into the pits. I think I saw Tom Sheehan. Another car I wasn't able to quite identify. Yeah, that's Tom Sheehan. It looks like Connor Zilich's car, maybe. Yeah, Connor Zilich is in the pits.
So there's something not right then for Connor Zilich, and they are taking the hood off. So there's definitely some sort of problem they've got to look at. And that's a shame, having started from pole with a big story. But I think he's made enough of a name for himself that he'll be back.
Oh, don't count him out yet. They can get back out, you know, as long as they get out before the pace car. They're still on the lead lap. You never count out somebody like that with that much talent. But let's go through. So Rafa Matos in first place, Mike Skeen second place, Thomas Merrill third, Connor Mosack fourth, Michael Self fifth. That's a good start from Michael Self. Adam Andretti sixth, Adrian Lostowski seventh, Barry Bowes eighth. Nice job, Barry Bowes. Beautiful new car, too. Keith Procek in ninth place, Scott Borchetta top 10. Then the 15-year-old Evan Slater showing us what he's got. Really good, top 11. Tyler Caceres dropped back to 12th. Chris Leesfield, number 96, is 13th. Doug Peterson, 14th. Darren Mock, 15th. Doing really well in the road racing series. Jim Gallagher, 16th, and number 16th. Maurice Hall, 17th. Connor Zilich dropped back to 18th, according to my scoring. Mark Austin is 19th. Patrick Paul, top 20. Rhett Barco dropped back to 21st. John Cloud is 22nd. Chad Christensen, 23rd. Tom Sheehan and Kurt Vogt, and now we're looking in. So what part of the engine are they looking at? Obviously it's hot.
Yep.
Just burnt his thumb there.
I thought that
Hotter
looked
than
like
a pizza oven.
It looked like a plug wire to me.
Well, there's frantic work
So
going on,
that,
that's
I don't know if they're trying to reach through the headers to put the plug back on.
And that's Brent Corey. Corey Engines, Mike Cope's engine guy. And he's putting on his heat gloves and looks like he's about to do something there. What are they doing, Edward?
I'm assuming he's trying to put a plug wire back on.
And that could show us the drop in power from Connor Zilich.
That would explain it, huh?
Seven cylinders, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they got to do this in a hurry, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
to get back on the lead lap. So they're hoping for a
And that engine's
really
red hot.
slow pace. Yeah, and that's hotter than a Hunt Brothers pizza oven is that engine.
Yeah, no kidding.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
Did I hear him say it's a lead?
I don't know.
Go, go, go.
Put it back in.
They
Fire it up.
Send
All right,
him on
they're trying to
set.
stay on the lead lap. That's
Not
the
going
key
to make
here.
it.
Is it going to happen?
Nope.
Not going to happen. Okay, so that means Connor Zilich, unfortunately, in the Hunt Brothers Pizza, number 70 Ford Mustang, first time out, just broke some records with us this weekend, is going to go a lap down. That's unfortunate, but still don't count him out. We've seen a lot of talent from this 15-year-old. But now we go back up to that top four in points.
Certainly an opportunity for Mike Skeen here if he's going to make a challenge on Rafa at the restart. That's his best opportunity. We talked about the talk of the challenger. Here comes Zilich. And that's a shame because he was, 20 seconds away from basically getting out in front of the pace car, which would have allowed him to come round.
Yeah, at that point they might have wanted to not put the hood back on, just get out there, come back in, put the hood on, and get back out there.
Well, he was slow to restart it as well, so. Oh, well.
Well, you don't want to start one of those engines with somebody's hand in there.
No.
No, that wouldn't be good. But anything can happen in a TA2 race at Virginia International Raceway, as we are now halfway through the race by the lap count. It shouldn't be very tough to have cleared Rhett Barco's car, the 01 BarcoCars.com, car dealership out of Northern Illinois. And we should be able to go back to green here, I'm hoping. Not hearing anything from race control.
Here's Andretti's car again. Behind Michael Self. He'll be looking for a good restart as well. Still some cars in the pit lane at the moment. There's the accident and there's the car being taken off, so there's still some work to do, some time to be spent. Now, that's Tommy Sheehan.
LTK insulation Ford Mustang. Looks like some front right damage to the car. It just looks cosmetic, but something tells me with the Ironman, more TA2 starts than any other driver in the world. Look at what are they doing there, Edward? They're screwing something in. What would that be?
I don't know.
Exactly. Could be anything.
But that looks like a socket wrench.
Now, Armand Garcia will not be foiled. He'll find a way into that car somehow. You can bet your $1.
Get a better view here.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I just heard from Race Control that John Cloud, who won Masters here in TA2 just a couple of years ago, had his birthday yesterday, has been released back to the paddock with transmission issues. So John Cloud, I'm sorry about that. That's unfortunate.
It looks
Still
like
working
they're working on the shifter.
Yeah, could well be. Here we go. Now we can see. Thanks, Tony. Good work.
Yeah, it looks like Sheehan might have broken the shifter lever. I'm
Been
not
there.
sure.
Yep.
You've been there?
Oh, yeah.
Too much arm strength, is that right?
Uh-huh. Or bad welding.
Well, they do call him Iron Man Tom Sheehan.
Great work from Tony Garcia, our pit man, getting the story for us, because it's so hard to do this on the fly. You're not going to get information, so the only way you can do it is visually, and we weren't quite sure, but we're pretty sure now that that was definitely a gear shifter.
Wait, we can hear Adrian. Well, there's Connor Zilich back in. Still struggling.
Still struggling.
I'm hearing that we're going to be going green this time by, so they've got about probably 2.5 minutes to figure something out before we go green.
It's a real shame. It's what a topsy-turvy weekend. They had so many highs. First practice they were leading, then taking the pole, and now having to struggle just to stay on a lead lap, and I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, but if I'm that Hunt Brothers Pizza team, not right now, but on the drive home, when they cross the border into North Carolina, I think they're going to start feeling like the weekend overall was a victory. All the things that he did, the name that he made for himself, breaking, I think, 6 or 7 different records this weekend in Trans Am for his first time. Knowing how competitive the TA2 field is and how the whole race industry looks and considers the top 20 in this TA2 field some of the best road racers, I think he's really made a name for himself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
Adam Andretti, Three-Dimensional Services Group, TA2 Ford Mustang, right there behind Michael Self in that Sinclair Oil. Adrian Lostovsky, Fast Auto Hawk Performance Racing.
Well, we're coming out on Oak Tree now, and we'll keep an eye on, but we've heard from Race Control that we're expecting to go racing at the end of this lap. And like I said, an important restart for Mike Skeen. Just seeing that Zilich is out and running. Coming out of the pits now, so he will go to the back, but he'll still be a lap down, unfortunately.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pace car lights out, coming to a restart here.
All right, let's get this race underway. 17 of the 31, 39 minutes to go. It's 100 miles or when the clock ticks down, either way, depending on which comes first. But it's Mike Skeen against Rafa Matos for the championship. The penultimate round of the championship. Rafa starting the day 40 points ahead, and Coda still to come in November. I don't suppose you can, if you're Mike Skeen, I don't suppose you can make a plan until you get into the fray, right? You just don't know what's going to happen. You know you want to get a good restart, but there's no point in planning it until you see how it pans out.
You just want to be ready and be able to see the green.
Away they go. Good start from Conor Mosak in 4th place. We're on board with Andretti. He's behind Self at the moment. Jinking out to the inside, and sure enough, Skeen trying to make his way around the outside, but he's not going to be close enough.
Connor Mosak on the outside of Thomas Merrill. There is grip on the outside here at 1.
Yes, there is. Self holding off Andretti. Behind them is this man, Lostovsky. And a good clean start.
Merrill next to Mike Skeen. Merrill's got the turn. Mike Skeen's not giving him anything,
No,
but
he's
it's
not.
Merrill. And now Mike has the turn.
But he's already lost out to Merrill
And
Conor
Mosak.
Oh, wow. So what a big change around of fortunes that is, that's played into Rafa Matos' hands.
And Adam Andretti.
Andretti's got through as well. So,
3
what a
different
change around.
changes in
Yeah.
just one corner there.
Amazing. So this is a completely different race now. Matos with not an easy task, but a lot easier than having Skeen behind him. Skeen with real work to do, and now Andretti's got by himself, and he now goes in pursuit of that man. And of course, he's out there, is Andretti, to help Matos. There's no question when he joined the team, Peterson taking him on, the whole point was have a really competitive teammate that could help Rafa win the championship. And now Andretti's in that position, and this is a memory of Nashville when he did exactly the same for a long time when Rafa had to come through the field.
Yeah, when your teammate is easily could be in contention for any TA2 champion like Adam Andretti, you've got a pretty good teammate there.
Yep. Down the hill they come through roller coaster. And it looks as though Zilich is out kaput this time.
That's unfortunate. Yeah. Sorry for Connor Zilich, but man, do we
What
hope to see you
yeah.
in the Trans Am TA2 series, because you've added so much to the show this weekend. Thank you for coming out.
Definitely. So across the line, there is Mike Skeen in the Liqui Moly. 14 turn.
Oh, look at this, side by side.
Yep. Oh, well, Self's got through on the inside again, so this battle continues. And Andretti will be disappointed. He's just done the hard work, and now he's going to do it again.
Great move there by Michael Self with Silver Hair Racing. So now Michael Self taken up for Silver Hair Racing since Tyler Casera has dropped back to 9th place. That's not bad for Tyler Casera. There he is, just in sight, right behind Keith Prochuk there.
Yep.
So don't count out Tyler Casera either, and somebody's off there.
I think that might be Zilich. Because I did hear on the radio he was going
No,
forward.
it was a Team SLR
okay.
livery.
Was it Connor?
No, not Mosak.
Zilich is back to the paddock, I'm told.
I think it was Leesfield.
That was the 48. That's Scott Borchetta getting out of shape there for a second.
Yeah, but ahead of Listowski.
Yeah.
So something must have happened there at the Snake. And Lostowski's fallen back. Scott Borchetta now moving up to a probably 8th position.
It's all going on. Plenty of action every which way in this one.
Adrian's lost something. He's lost a lot of power there. Are you seeing that too, Edward?
Yeah, was that Peterson next to him or Andretti?
Yeah, I'm not sure which. I think it was Peterson.
Yeah, I think he's fallen way back.
Yeah, it can't have been Andretti. He's fighting himself. And not himself either. So, Merrill with a very aggressive run after the restart. Skeen with a lot of work to do now if he's going to keep this championship alive and hold on to his title. Just doesn't have the consistency he had last year by any means. He's always quick. Lostowski is in the pits.
Something must have happened with Barry Bowes and Adrian. They were together and they both went backwards.
Yeah. Let's listen in. Tire. So something happened with this tire because they brought a tire around to the left side, driver's left.
Is that Skeen making an aggressive move there?
Okay, Connor Mosak just to the driver's left of Mike Skeen.
Side by side. There we go.
Pretty easy pass there from Connor Mosak.
I think he had to give that position back.
Probably. And only Mike Skeen can give a position back without losing too much momentum.
Yeah.
That's hard to do.
So here we go, back straight. They're all line astern. There's a chance for surely a slipstream here coming towards the roller coaster. On board with Andretti. Topping out at what? 156 for there. Might be going a little bit quicker before we came off of here. They're working on the rear left of Lostowski.
He just shook his head to Tony, our cameraman.
Basically means he's pretty much fed up with the whole thing.
This back on the lead lap though.
Yeah. Yep.
That was impressive because we don't do a lot of tire changes here under the gun like that in TA2. Uh-oh. It's going to be tough for him to blend back in.
Yeah, that's speed. Everybody firing by. There's Andretti again. He still hasn't got past Self or repassed Self, but now Self's in a battle with Skeen. Side by side out of the horseshoe. Skeen holding him off. NASCAR, he's got the advantage. Has Skeen, but Self putting the pressure on. Great stuff, this. The onboard's really illustrated.
Look at his hands working there in the bottom left corner. It's a physical part of the track right there. So our top 10 right now is Rafa Matos, Thomas Merrill, Connor Mosack, Mike Skeen, Michael Self is 5th, Adam Andretti 6th, Keith Prochuk 7th. Good job, Keith. Tyler Casera 8th, Scott Borchetta 9th, and Evan Slater 10th.
Well, that's good for Borchetta and Slater. Borchetta saying earlier in the weekend just wanted to be in the top 10. Slater obviously in the wall yesterday, so glad to be in contention.
Look at the front splitter there at Tyler Casera's car. See it flapping around?
Oh yeah.
That's not good. What do you do with that? What's that going to do to his performance, Edward?
It depends. Initially, it may help, but once that comes off, it's going to hurt. It'll pick up a big understeer, and then the front tires overheat.
Already hitting 165 mark before braking. Self just locking up a little bit.
Man, this looks like a physical track.
Yeah.
Does this track wear you out?
No, not particularly. Now Nashville, on the other hand.
Yeah, I bet. Try as he might, Andretti just can't get close enough to Self at the moment.
Rafa Matos last time was a 151.4. His best time is a 151.1. So he's running pretty consistent times. There's his man Doug Peterson, Three-Dimensional Services Group. And then Evan Slater's dropped back to 11th now.
So is there one more trick in the tail for this race, I wonder? It's calmed down again. We had the excitement of Connor Zilich leading. And Rafa then took ascendancy. And the minute Rafa went through, there was definitely some sort of problem because Zilich went from hero to zero, quite literally. And
look at that front splitter. That's a great shot of that front splitter. But
nice
that's
work.
Like Claudio Burton taught me a new word. That's going to be oscillating.
It is. That's a good science word, oscillation.
Look at that, yeah. I bet you he can feel that vibration there on his wheels too.
Yeah, no question. It's not the way it was designed to work at all.
Those front splitters are great on concrete, but the moment that you go off or hit too big a curbing, sometimes they become more of a nuisance. And there's Thomas Merrill, who still looks really fast.
Yeah, it's been a strange year for Thomas. At times he's drifted into the distance and not been a factor. At others he's at the sharp end. It just depends on the day and on the weekend.
And here's that battle again. Connor Mosack, Mike Skeen.
Ooh, he's close this time. Skeen defends, stays in the middle of the road and holds the inside line. Connor, if he wants to make the move, would have to go around the outside. And you can see when you go on board with Connor that there really isn't a way to make a move. He's not close enough to make a dive at NASCAR. He's got him covered there. Slight mistake there maybe on the exit, but not enough to worry him.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's allowed Self through.
Yeah, I didn't see where Skeen got Connor. Must have been on the back straightaway, but
Connor's fallen back maybe. It looks like he's lost some speed there since turn one.
Let's see how Andretti dispense with him. If he does, under the bridge they come.
Yeah, he's losing speed.
Yeah, he is, definitely.
Can't pass there.
Oof. Tell Andretti there.
Careful.
Yeah, I think the speed differential is such that Andretti was like, well, he's not going to challenge me now because he's slowing quickly. So exactly that. He's gone through.
Yeah, something is wrong with Connor. That's unfortunate. Third in points currently. Having a really great season in TA2, showing us a lot of talent. And looks like he may be down a cylinder as well.
Well, he gets up to about 163 just before he hits the anchors. That looks so much fun to drive down.
There's Keith Prochuk passing Connor Mosack, so that brings Keith Prochuk up to 6th position.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mosak comes in. Matos still 5 seconds out in front of Thomas Merrill for the race win.
Mosak, right rear tire down.
Yeah.
He's coming into the pits with the right rear tire down.
Lostowski in as well, and I think his day's done.
That is unfortunate for Connor Mosak.
We're getting the close-up, and there it is.
Nick Taylor custom fit underwear race for RP Team SLR. Chevy Camaro. Quick tire change there. They have a great team there with the Scott Lagacy crew. Looks like there was a lot of tire rub there on that back fender, so that's been gone for a while, that rear tire. 24 of 31 laps as we look at the leaders come around that long back stretch after turn 11. Turn 12 Oak Tree coming into the roller coaster section. That's quite a big gap there between first and second. Rafa Matos leading this and leading the points championship, followed by Thomas Merrill, then Mike Skeen, and then Michael Self.
Yeah, Self's had a good year, and he's proving it again today. Really competitive again to all comers. Let's take a look at this battle. That's Tommy Sheehan, who's already been in the pits. Rafa Matos back on board with him, the leader. The gap, 4.8 seconds. Merrill just did his quickest lap last time out. A 1:51.8.
Adam Andretti, I'm seeing a lot of vibration in the front end of his car.
He's not been happy with the setup all weekend.
Adam's one of those drivers that can drive terrible cars fast sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is a good driver to have. You know, when he has a good car, he is lightning fast, but he can drive a terrible car fast as well. And it looks like that's what he's having to do right now. Mike Skeen coming up behind Connor Mosak. Connor should yield that to Mike Skeen because Connor's no longer on the lead lap.
That's a good point, yeah. Gap between Matos and Merrill down to 4.8 seconds now. Still a long way to go, but I'm just keeping us honest on whether Merrill can take some time out of Matos as we look at this battle. Skeen, himself, Andretti, Procha, Borchetta now up to 7. Good day for Scott Borchetta.
Connor's faster than Mike Skeen, though. You don't have to give up your place.
No, if you think back to Laguna Seca,
yeah,
the same thing happened. He stayed right there.
That's right, yeah.
There's Barry Bowes. Just coming out of the Oak Tree turn down that long straight. Barry Bowes having a good weekend there.
Yep.
Top 10.
Just keep wondering whether there's going to be another little twist to this. Could
That
be a safety car, could be anything.
Looked like Andretti was just going to the inside there on Self.
Well, he's been trying for a couple of laps now. Let's see if he's done it. Barry Bowes, as you mentioned, having a good weekend.
Yeah, Barry is significantly faster than the people in front of him.
Yeah. There's Tommy. Got that stick shifter working. That was Evan Slater. A strange kind of weekend for him as well.
So Merrill has been putting in fast lap after fast lap. So you'd think that his car is coming into it with the fuel load burning down.
Yeah, it's definitely the last couple of laps, and the gap's now on 4.6, so it's doable.
There's Darren Mock and Jim Gallagher there, both from Mike Cope's stable. Darren Mock joined us at Brainerd this year, and his dad has a long history in the NASCAR series, but Darren Mock wants to be a road racer. And there's Connor Mosack and Mike Skeen battling.
And like Laguna, Connor having no reason to give in to Skeen at all.
No, unless he's holding them up. But if they're going the same speed, Connor does not have to yield his position at all.
No, but he should.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Really? I don't.
Yeah, for the guys in the top three. I mean, you know, unless he gets back by Rafa and gets a lap back, you know, it's.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I spoke to Connor on the weekend, and you know, he's got a chance still of finishing at least third, if not runner-up. So this is his big rival for the runner-up spot. That's kind of probably what's going on in his mind. Everybody knows Rafa's pretty much got the championship, so it's a case of who's going to be runner-up. And at the beginning of the weekend, Connor was third behind Mike Skeen. So you can understand that he doesn't want to let his closest rival pass. But as you say, something's gone wrong there.
Somebody's gone off into the grass there, waving the debris flag at turn 9, the yellow flag at turn 9. So let's see what's happened. Okay, it's not our leader. It's not second place, and it's not third place.
Maybe it's a back marker getting it out of the way, or just making a mistake on his own.
I don't know. I don't see anybody in the grass there.
No.
Merrill took another couple tenths out of him on that lap.
Yep.
Still a long way to go, 4.4 seconds.
There's our leader, Rafa Matos.
Now, will he have done enough to win the championship? Rafa had to finish second or higher to clinch the championship. So the answer is yes.
Well, this is not over yet.
No, but
I've seen Rafa leading here a couple of years ago in TA2, and then a plug wire came out, and he stalled it right there, right before NASCAR. So, you know, anything can happen in TA2, as we've seen. Right now, he's just trying his best to hit his marks. He doesn't mind probably giving up a little bit to Thomas as long as everything just goes smooth for him.
Yeah.
But is this the time, Edward, in the race that he's just hearing every single little noise and just every little thing that's moving that shouldn't be moving is just really bothering him?
I think he's so experienced in this position that he's just in the zone now. And it took 3 seconds, added 3 seconds to his lead that last lap. I don't know what that debris flag was for, but both Merrill and Skeen were way off the pace. And Skeen is getting backed up into Andretti at this point.
yeah, that was weird. Rafa Matos, it was 4.4 as you mentioned. Now it's 7.1. Well, Andretti's put a valiant effort in, but his front splitter looks a real mess too. Flapping about just as Casera's was.
Yeah, it looks like Adam Andretti is driving a pig right now. And doing well with it.
Better put it in the hog pen. Lostowski makes a move into Horseshoe. Cleanly done. Out of NASCAR, nice and smooth with Lostowski at the moment. The runner-up in SGT last year, of course, taking to TA2 for the first time this year.
Doing really well.
Yeah.
I think he's 5th or 6th in the points.
And fighting for the rookie championship with Rhett Barco, so he'll have gained some points on Rhett Barco going out. So that's good news for him, and that's got to be in the back of his mind as well. He's got the overall championship to think about and the rookie. Some more dust flying up in the distance there. it's not been without incident. There's the dust I was talking about, so somebody must have just railed on the outside of that oak tree bend.
Here's our leader.
Yeah, he's not looking stressed, is he? Well, a two-time champion now, potentially. And both with three-dimensional services.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Got his first win at Road Atlanta in 2018 with that team.
And I think he was runner-up in the championship last year when he was with the silver hair team.
He was, yeah.
So Rafa Matos showing us the talent out here.
Sounds great. Merrill, second place. Gap 7 seconds.
I think Thomas has kind of started to surrender, trying to take first and just trying to hold on to second right now.
They're skiing.
Is Adam gaining on him?
Yeah, a second the last 2 laps.
And he just did his quickest lap last time out at 52.1. So despite the splitter issues, he's going quick as Adam. He's in 4th at the moment and maybe smells a podium. Back with Matos.
And Borchetta just showed up in 5th.
Yeah. Well, this would be one of Borchetta's best performances of the year. He's had a podium, I think, at Brainerd last year. But this would be really impressive.
He hasn't had a podium yet.
He hasn't?
No.
He was 4th.
No, he was 4th at
Ford
Road America.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think on his birthday weekend. But I'm still going to say he's going to get a podium this year, but not many chances to do it left.
Yeah, he picked up 2 spots in the last 2 laps.
Well, that'd be a great story too. He's worked so hard at this.
Oh, because Michael Self.
Pull that.
Yeah, it's showing down at 15th.
Ah, okay.
Car sounds amazing with Matos.
It does.
150. 161. He's not letting off.
No. Not the fastest.
He's going to
speeds,
get
but
he's coming down the roller coaster, and then he's going to take the white flag.
yep, one to go. And this is, as you say, where it all gets a little bit scary. Ooh.
The championship and the win.
Evan Slater in trouble again. It's not been an easy weekend for this team.
And he's climbing out. You can tell by the body language that he is not happy, Evan Slater.
White flag then for Rafa Matos on his way to a potential championship in 2021. Thomas Merrill has kept him honest. The gap has come back down again to 5 seconds. Just over. Skeen still in 3rd, and Adam Andretti still in 4th place. Scott Borchetta, a brilliant 5th place at the moment. Keith Procek having a good run too, and the number 9 in 6th.
He just looks relaxed.
Yeah, very relaxed.
Well, that is impressive. Nice job, Rafa Matos, the three-dimensional services group team. And that is very impressive. There's second place, Thomas Merrill. Connor Mosak just still showing us the talent. They had to change a tire, but he's still staying with the leaders. He didn't lose any speed. He just looks like he cut a tire somewhere.
Yeah, a shame. Not a great race for him. So as we sit with Rafa, it's been an interesting year. Didn't start as well as he would have hoped, for sure. Merrill and Skeen were the men to watch. And then, of course, he's had problems where, like at Nashville, he had to side his way through from the back when qualifying. I think he had a power steering issue in qualifying. But with Rafa, you can never count him out, and it's been a good run again. And now he's got one hand on the trophy, just a couple of corners to go. And with the fact that Skeen is going to take 3rd place, looks as though Rafa Matos is going to take the title here in the 88. The three-dimensional services Ford Mustang comes out of the last corner and to the checkered flag for another valiant win for Rafa. There's the checkered flag, and the Brazilian does it in style here at VIR. He loves this track, and he's done it again. Merrill crosses the line, and the team, as you can see, high-fiving and delighted with that. Andretti does take 4th place. Skeen does take 3rd. So not bad for Andretti, starting, what, 8th? And Borchetta, a very competent 5th place. He'll be elated with that. Keith Prochuk takes 6th place. Tyler Casera 7th. Doug Peterson, another 3-dimensional driver and the owner of the team, of course, takes 8th. Jim Gallagher in the number 16 takes 9th place. Darren Mock is 10th. And Morris Hull takes 11th place. So well done to Rafa Matos. Here's another look at the TA2 race from VIR, and a really good start from Connor Zilich, the youngster, coming into Trans Am for the first time and led from pole position under pressure from 2 champions in Rafa Matos, looking for the 21 championship with Mike Skeen, the current champion, behind him. Soon, though, Matos was past Zilich, but what we didn't know at the time was that Zilich had a problem, and he would drop back and eventually drop out. And then it started to heat up. Casera, who got into contention, would spit out and would have to come back. But there was plenty of action all over. Barco, the guy going for the Rookie Cup, he goes out as well with a broken suspension. Andretti, though, very much on it for a while. He would finish 4th, but no one could stop Rafa Matos, who piles on the pressure to take the championship and the win here at VIR. Big moment for Rafa, and a really, again, consummate performance. I'm sure he went to rest last night thinking, what's this kid got for me tomorrow? I don't need him in my way. I've got enough going on with Skeen. And he dispensed with him well. And it's going to be a happy Rafa. Deserves it too. He's driven hard. He's a great character too. Loves his racing. And I've been getting some insight from Adam Andretti as to what a great guy he is to race with as a teammate. He's very open and tells Andretti in no uncertain terms exactly where he wants him on the track, where he wants him to finish, and how he wants him to help him. And that's why Andretti came into the team. Doug making a wise decision of giving Rafa somebody to work with, and they did that at several races, including Mid-Ohio, where they were 1st and 2nd. And into the pit lane he comes. Great looking car too. I love the paint scheme on that. And certainly Doug Peterson, who owns the 3-dimensional services company, can be pleased with the amount of coverage he's got. It's been a good investment, that's for sure. And my thanks to Edward Zavagian, and obviously Ben has gone down there to talk to our winners. See that Rafa, you don't need to hear from him just yet. You can see the body language says it all.
Dude, thank you so much.
It might be a while.
Congratulations.
Andretti is his teammate, and he congratulates him. 2 championships, one in 2018, one in 21, and Ben holding the mic, trying to pick up the congratulations, did a great job. He's going to thank everyone. We might have to wait. Rafa's such an affable guy, and he's got that typical Brazilian laid-backness. And he comes out of a group of great racing drivers that came out of Brazil in his era. So many of them have been successful in Indy as he was, but he chose, having started actually in stock cars in Brazil, to go the Indy route, as many of them do and did. So as we get to celebrate, let's head down to Ben Sissel, who's with our new champion.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. I am here, and what an honor it is to be here with Rafa Matos. Great race, but As far as our math goes, you are now the TA2 champion again. Rafa, how does it feel?
I can't describe in words right now, Ben, quite honestly, you know. It's been a year of ups and downs, you know. This week in particular was quite good, but some races were lacking a little bit of speed and we had bad luck. But, you know, there was so much anticipation before this race, and qualifying yesterday, second, I was a bit concerned because second place here into turn one is not a good place to be, but thankfully we got clean at the start, and my pace was good enough to pull away initially from Mike. Well, first I had to deal with Connor. I finally overtook him and pull away from Mike Skeen, and after the restart my pace was good enough so I could pull away from Thomas Merrill. Just an incredible year for Peterson Racing, three-dimensional service group team. Those guys, they work their ass off, you know, so I'm just the guy that delivers the result. They are the ones that work hard.
Now, did you feel the little love tap that you got from your teammate here, Adam Andretti, as he came in? And then you came in dirty. Tony, if we can get a shot of this, where's the dirt from, Rafa?
Well, this grass all over the track. You know, this place it's famous for this aspect. But, you know, thankfully the grill was fine. It was not covered in grass, and the engine was running fine. So today was our day.
Nice. Well, congratulations, Rafa Matos, as it stands, our current TA2 champion. Rafa, will you be at Circuit of the Americas too in a month?
Of course. We're gonna party there now.
Party at Circuit of the Americas. We're coming over to Adam Andretti here. How does it feel to be teammates with Rafa Matos? Come in. I saw that little love tap.
Yeah, I mean, I love the guy. He's a phenomenal driver. He's a great teammate, and most of all, he's a great person, special human being. So, yeah, just so happy and proud of Rafa. But he's the first to tell you that's a full team effort to see what this Peterson Racing group, how they work together, and the engineers and the mechanics. I mean, just the gel. That's always the magic that we talk about in racing, and Peterson Racing certainly has it. And I'm just proud to be a part of that, and that I didn't mix up the mixture too much. But great job all season long, Rafa. So well deserved by that 88 crew and Peterson Racing, and this is what they work hard for.
Sweet. Thank you, Adam Andretti. Tony, let's come over here. We've got Thomas Merrill and Mike Skeen together, guys. What a crazy year. Rafa just clinched the championship. Stand together here. How does it feel? I know that was hard fought. What a crazy year for both of you. Thomas, give me some thoughts.
Yeah, it was a real up and down year for us, and an up and down weekend. I mean, we didn't plan on racing this car, but we were forced to make that decision, and I'm so proud of the Cope crew for pulling this thing out of the truck and showing as well as it did. It's a testament to how good our chassis are. And we're excited to go to Texas and to end the year strong. I think we'll have a good shot there.
Nice. Mike Skeen, 2020 champion here in the Challenger. How was it out there?
It was tough all weekend, and you know, just learn kind of a new car and how to set it up and try to get the most out of it. And I think the SMR guys did a pretty good job of that. I think it's about as good as we could have done with this car, and so happy to be on the podium still. Knew we didn't really have a weapon to fight for the lead, I don't think, this weekend, and so you know, you take what you get sometimes. And very happy for Liqui Moly and Turn 14 distribution to have this opportunity to keep racing, and one more to go.
Nice. Mike Skeen here, 2020 champion. Rafa Matos, 2020 champion. Rafa Matos, 2021. Jonathan, I'm going to send it back to you.